In 1971, Dirty Harry didn't just shock audiences, it revolutionized crime cinema. Justice turned ruthless, violence became sudden, and safety vanished. But 55 years later, the real mystery followed the cast beyond the screen. From accidents and disappearances to tragic deaths, many faced horrors exceeding fiction. Join us as we reveal who they truly were and honor their lasting legacies. Clint Eastwood as Harry Callahan. Harry Callahan, the merciless inspector in Dirty Harry, was embodied by Clint Eastwood. At 41, he portrayed a cop-trusting instinct over protocol. The performance felt harsh, unsettling, and dangerously authentic. Audiences witnessed not just a character, but a watershed moment in American film. Born the 31st of May, 1930 in San Francisco, Eastwood endured the Great Depression as his family relocated constantly for his father's work. That instability denied him permanence. He survived through physically grueling labor and Korean War-era military service, including a near-fatal plane crash into the Pacific Ocean. Those survival instincts followed him into adult life, shaping his marriages. His union with Maggie Johnson slowly crumbled under years of infidelity and emotional distance, ending in a 1984 divorce. A second marriage to Dena Ruiz also dissolved in 2014, reinforcing patterns of intimacy strained by independence and secrecy. Fatherhood arrived under complex circumstances, leaving a hard emotional weight. As years advanced, Eastwood confronted aging and physical limits, including heart-related health concerns, which he managed quietly without spectacle. Rather than retreat, he redirected his energy toward filmmaking, earning Academy Awards for Unforgiven and Million Dollar Baby masterworks that examine violence, regret, and moral consequence. Later films, such as Gran Torino, reflected an aging man confronting consequences he once ignored. The shift from enforcer to examiner felt deliberate, almost confessional. Today, Clint Eastwood is 96, alive, and selectively involved in film production. He lives away from public scrutiny, choosing restraint over visibility. His estimated $375 million net worth stems from decades of acting, directing, and strategic investments. What endures most is the contrast. A man who once defined cinematic power is now defined by quiet resilience. Albert Popwell as a bank robber. The wounded man pinned down in Dirty Harry was Albert Popwell. At 45, he stood opposite Eastwood in a moment echoing through film history. He spoke no iconic line, yet anchored one of cinema's most quoted scenes. Born the 15th of July, 1926 in New York City, Popwell was raised in Harlem with South American and West Indian heritage. Early discipline led to professional dance, then Broadway as a teenager. Screen work arrived steadily, recognition didn't. His life revolved around labor and resilience rather than comfort. Personal stability remained fragile as cardiac health gradually declined. The strain accumulated while he worked across film and television, often cast in roles ending violently. Popwell's later years brought severe heart problems, limiting work capacity. His screen history included Cleopatra Jones and Magnum Force performances remembered more vividly than the man himself. Albert Popwell died at 72 on the 9th of April, 1999, from open-heart surgery complications in Los Angeles. No major memorials followed. His estimated $1 million net worth reflected steady work rather than reward. John Mitchum as Frank DeGorgio. Frank DeGorgio, the steady inspector in Dirty Harry, was portrayed by John Mitchum. At 52, he grounded the film with lived-in realism. Born the 6th of September, 1919 in Bridgeport, Connecticut, Mitchum entered life marked by loss. His father died in a railroad accident 7 months before birth. Raised poor by a struggling mother alongside brother Robert, survival preceded dreams. That weight never left him. Stability remained elusive. Mitchum married 4 times, navigating repeated separations mirroring early uncertainty. He lived outside his famous brother's spotlight, carrying quiet comparison burdens. Health eventually failed, multiple strokes stole strength and clarity. Before illness overtook him, he left honest work in El Dorado, Chisholm, and 3 Dirty Harry films. John Mitchum died at 82 on the 29th of November, 2001, from stroke complications in Los Angeles. His estimated $1 million net worth reflected labor, not reward. Andrew Robinson as Scorpio Killer. Scorpio, the chilling antagonist, was portrayed by Andrew Robinson. At 29, he brought uncomfortably real menace stripped of theatrical distance. It shocked audiences and haunted him afterward. Born the 14th of February 1942 in New York City, Robinson's childhood was shaped by his father's World War II death. Raised by his mother, he experienced strict schooling and emotional upheaval, eventually attending boarding school after behavioral struggles. Education became refuge and rebellion, leading through literature, theater, and London training. Marriage to Irene Robinson in 1970 brought steadiness. The Scorpio role proved costly. Realistic performance triggered death threats and severe typecasting, closing doors rapidly. Psychological toll lingered. Though not publicly ill, Robinson faced professional confinement, retreating to teaching, directing theater, and raising children away from Hollywood. Balance was restored through roles like Garrick on Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Hellraiser appearances. Today, Andrew Robinson is 84, alive, dividing time between acting, teaching, and mentoring. His estimated $500,000 net worth reflects principle over profit. Harry Guardino as Lieutenant Al Bressler. Lieutenant Al Bressler, the frustrated, politically cornered superior officer in Dirty Harry, was played by Harry Guardino. At 46, his character functioned as the voice of bureaucracy, the man caught between public outrage and legal restraint, constantly clashing with Harry Callahan's methods. That tension made Bressler essential to the film's moral conflict. Born the 23rd of December, 1925, on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, Guardino grew up amid poverty before his family relocated to Brooklyn. He left school early to help support his household, taking odd jobs long before adulthood was supposed to arrive. World War II interrupted what little stability he had, sending him into service with the U.S. Navy. By the time he returned, discipline and fatigue had shaped him more than youth ever could. Marriage brought neither permanence nor relief. Guardino married 3 times, first to Anne Norwood, later to Jennifer Revson, and finally to Elisa Paternoster, each relationship reflecting a life pulled in different directions by work and obligation. Fatherhood existed alongside long absences and emotional strain. As years passed, his body paid the cost. Guardino developed lung cancer, yet he continued working, leaving behind respected performances in Pork Chop Hill and The Enforcer, along with multiple Broadway performances that earned him Tony Award nominations. Harry Guardino died at 69 on the 17th of July, 1995, from lung cancer in a hospital in Palm Springs, California. There were tributes, but no resurgence of fame. His estimated $2 million net worth reflected a lifetime of steady, demanding work. Rennie Santoni as Chico Gonzalez. Chico Gonzalez, the eager rookie, was portrayed by Rennie Santoni. At 33, he provided a human counterweight, a young detective whose empathy highlighted violence's emotional cost, softening brutality and allowing audiences to feel loss and moral discomfort. Born the 21st of April, 1938, in New York City, Santoni grew up with French, Corsican, and Spanish heritage, finding expression through writing and comedy. Theater preceded film. Creativity became refuge. Personal life offered connection without lasting stability. He fathered son Nick and was known for warmth and humor off-screen, despite repeated casting as cops or criminals. Later years brought throat and lung cancer, weakening him steadily and forcing withdrawal. Audiences remembered him in Bad Boys, Cobra, and as Poppy in Seinfeld. Rennie Santoni died at 82 on the 1st of August 2020 from cancer complications in a Los Angeles hospice. His estimated $1 million net worth reflected presence, not excess. The sadness, humor was his gift, yet silence marked his end. John Vernon as mayor. The mayor, the rigid political leader, was portrayed by John Vernon. At 39, he gave the story its institutional face, a man obsessed with optics, legality, and public pressure rather than justice. His presence sharpened the film's central conflict, placing political fear against Callahan's brutal efficiency. Born the 24th of February 1932 in Zenner, Saskatchewan, Canada, Vernon grew up in rural isolation as the son of a grocery store owner. His birth name, Adolphus Travis Raymondus Vernon Agopsowitz carried cultural weight and complexity, later shortened as he pursued acting. Training at elite Canadian and English institutions forged his commanding voice and controlled intensity. Vernon married Nancy West, raising 3 children, including future actors Kate Vernon and Nan Vernon. The marriage ended in divorce, leaving behind distance rather than scandal. Health concerns emerged later. Heart surgery meant to extend time instead shortened it. Audiences remembered him as Dean Warmer in Animal House and in The Outlaw, Josie Wales. John Vernon died at 72 on the 1st of February 2005 from heart surgery complications in Los Angeles. His estimated net worth of about $2 million reflected decades of steady work rather than stardom. The sadness lingers in how a man who embodied authority exited the world quietly. Woodrow Parfray as Mr. Jaffe. Mr. Jaffe, the unsettling figure in Dirty Harry, was portrayed by Woodrow Parfray. At 49, he embodied unease, making the city feel rotten from within. Born the 5th of October, 1922, in New York City, Parfray was orphaned as a teenager during the Depression, growing up poor and unstable. He worked as an auto mechanic before anyone imagined him on screen. World War II deepened scars. Drafted, he fought in the Battle of the Bulge, was wounded, and captured. POW trauma followed him home. Marriage to Rosa Elovich in 1950 brought some grounding while raising 4 children, but stability never erased the past. He became unforgettable in Planet of the Apes and The Outlaw, Josie Wales. Woodrow Parfray died at 61 on the 29th of July, 1984, from a heart attack in Los Angeles. Buried at Los Angeles National Cemetery, his estimated $500,000 net worth told a harsh truth: decades of work didn't guarantee security. Joseph Sommer as Rothko. Rothko, the sharp courtroom figure, was portrayed by Joseph Sommer. At 37, he brought intellect into a film dominated by force, reminding viewers that words could be equally dangerous. Born the 26th of June, 1934, in Greifswald, Germany, Sommer's family fled Nazi Germany in 1938. He grew up in North Carolina carrying exile's burden. Education became a refuge. Trained rigorously, he balanced marriage to Nina Seeley and fatherhood with demanding theater work, earning Obie wins and recognition in Witness and X-Men: The Last Stand. Today, Joseph Sommer is 92, living in retirement. His estimated $1 million net worth reflects substance over spectacle. James Nolan portrayed the liquor proprietor at 56, embodying ordinary citizens caught in violence. He died at 69 on the 29th of July, 1985, from lung cancer. William Patterson played Bannerman at 52, projecting institutional confidence. He died at 84 on the 3rd of September 2003. Lynn Edgington appeared as Norma at 32, deepening emotional weight. She passed at 66 on the 3rd of June 2005. Dirty Harry's story doesn't end with the final gunshot. It ends with lives left behind. Some found peace, some vanished, and some paid prices fame never promised. Which fate shocked you most? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories.